Good evening, baseball fans. It is Thursday, April 17th. I am Susie. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. Astros don't play today, so therefore they can't hurt me. That's how I choose. That's how I'm choosing to view the off day. I know Tom isn't. Tom is shaking his head if you're not on the YouTubes. Tom is shaking his head because I'm ridiculous, and that's okay. That is what fan is short for, is fanatic. That's okay. I'm all right. Tom, how are you on this off day?
I'm good. They don't hurt me when they lose games. Like I know they're going to lose games. Everyone that gets hurt or is hurt thinks they're going to win 162 games, and that's just not real.
That's okay. We're going to talk about this Cardinals series loss, and we will do an upcoming Padres series overview. But before we go and do that, let me give you the rated R warning, because this is in fact a rated R podcast, of which there will be lots of cuss words. Mainly because this team frustrates me, because I am an Asian tiger mom. Just ask Tom. If cuss words offend your delicate senses, you should probably skedaddle on out of here, because this is not the podcast for you. There are lots of other Astros podcasts that are not as fun as ours, that can give you, probably the same information, maybe less information. Who knows? I don't know. But stick around if cuss words and inappropriate adult humor don't offend you, because we are, in fact, a good time. And with that, we will just kind of jump right on in. Tom, I know that this team doesn't hurt you, but you gotta admit that Fromber start was a little painful, no?
Not when you look at it in the context of how it went down. Like I really feel like when a pitcher gets the wrong side of multiple calls, which if you follow Susie, you know he did. I really think it's really hard. Like it takes a really, really elite pitcher to be able to survive those. Because at some point you're going, what do I have to do to get a call on the edges? And you have to live on the edges. Like you just can't uh uh you can't throw it there, as Susie likes to say. You know what I mean? So middle is what happens when you don't get calls on the edges that you should get. You know, not and I'm not talking about ones on the outside that are like barely touching the line. I'm talking like a whole ball in the square, and you're not getting those calls. It's really hard. You don't want to walk hitters. Susie will tell you walking hitters is bad. So Fromber was on the wrong end of some questionable calls that just snowballed into, a bad inning or two.
Yeah. Yep. But he's been playing, I say he's been playing with fire. He had been playing with fire that entire game until basically the runs started coming in waves here. The second inning, excuse me, about on the second, Nolan Arenado doubles, Brendan Donovan singles, and then he gets Jordan Walker strikeout, Nolan Gorman a strikeout, and Pedro Pajes to line out. So when you have two runners on and no outs, it looks a little bleak sometimes, and your blood pressure gets raised just a little bit. Fromber being Fromber works out of it, right? But again, you can only walk that tightrope so long before you fall without the net. And let's see, Chaz, you worked a walk. Hooray for you getting a start. That made my Chaz McCormick loving heart so happy. We'll talk about Chaz in a minute, though. But the third inning, ground out, Lars Newbar walked. This is one of those ones that you're all, sir, that first pitch, that we should be in an 0-1 count. What are we doing here, ump? Again, that 0-1 pitch. That 0-1 pitch is crucial. Fucking crucial. And if you don't get that, then the entire at-bat kind of just gets fucked up. And I say kind of, it really gets fucked up. So, there was a couple of pitches right in that shadow zone that could have been called either one, but that first one, definitely a strike. Most definitely a strike. And again, just sets up the whole at bat. So if you fuck up the first one, it's going downhill from there. From then on, Lukenbaker singles. His curveball was just getting jacked. Like all of his curveballs were getting hit. I say not all. Like 75% of his curveballs were getting hit.
So the Lars Newbar, that was a home run, correct?
No, that
Okay,
was
we're not there yet. Okay.
in that inning. No, Not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
Anyways, he
Okay,
didn't
okay,
hurt us
okay.
that badly just yet. No, this
Okay.
this inning, Lars Nootbaar walks and then Lukenbaker singles, but the hit that Lukenbaker got, I mean, it's like almost a middle chain curveball, excuse me. 77-mile-an-hour curveball, and he's just sitting on it and just
Well, again, I think when you get squeezed, you make pitches finer. You're trying to get more of the zone, and I really think hitters can key in on it, especially when they get ahead of the count. So I really feel like there was a precedence being set, and it was on both sides. Like the difference I think right now to me was that Sonny Gray got weak contact, where I mean Framber didn't. Framber got hit hard every time, so he had to come in the zone too. It's just the way it worked out.
yeah. So that inning, St. Louis only scores 1. However, everyone and their dog is running all over our pitchers. I'm not quite sure if it's a timing issue or if they're not varying their timing, but just all of the bases are getting stolen on all of our pitchers. And I need answers because I have many questions. But Wilson Contreras steals a second. Nolan Arenado pops out. Only 1 run scores. The bottom of the 4th kind of is when the dam breaks. That tightrope again was being walked. 8 pitch inning. Excuse me, 8 pitch at bat for Brendan Donovan, who apparently is just the hottest hitter on the freaking planet. So the 5th pitch, they called a ball, could have been called a strike, would have ended that at bat. However, I digress. That's not how it happened. So Brendan Donovan singles, Jordan Walker doubles, Nolan Gorman ground out, Pedro Pajes with a double, and again, middle curveball. Literal middle curveball. I'm talking 9 squares. It is in that 5 square. 2 runs score. Now it's 3-0. Victor Scott strikes out. Lars Nootbaar singles, and now it's 4-0. I can't even be mad at that pitch because that wasn't even in the fucking zone. Lars Nootbaar just pulled his hands in, and I mean, it's like, I don't know, 6 inches like outside the plate. Like, it was so far in. And it's one of those balls you're like, yes, when Altuve does it, but when somebody else does it against our pitchers, you're like, fuck you. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. You're not even supposed to swing at that. Lars Nootbaar, however, was like, Altuve's not the only one that can do it. Look at me. So Lukenbaker pops out, damage done, 4-0. We can't do anything against Sonny Gray. Just Sonny Gray is pitching delightfully at this point. I think at this point we hadn't gotten a hit yet. There was a walk. Like I said, Chas McCormick walked. I take that back. Yiner singled in the 2nd. Yeah, Yiner singled in the 2nd, so I lied. He'd given up a hit and a walk, but everything else was ground out, fly out, strike out on 1, 2, 3 pitches. His pitch count was fucking great. Bottom of the 5th, Wilson Contreras singles, Nolan Arenado doubles, and this at bat as well was a 10-pitch at bat. And I don't know if Nolan wanted to turn the knife just a little bit, just pour a little bit of salt in the wound, wanted to show off. I have no idea what Nolan did, but this was a fucking Superman Herculean game for Nolan Arenado. And it just I don't like it. I wasn't appreciative of that Nolan Arenado. I think he ended up with, let me see, his line ended up being he went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, no strikeouts, no walks, but just did damage literally every time he came up to bat. And I was cursing his name. So the bottom of the 5th, like I said, Wilson Contreras singled, Nolan Arenado doubled. Now it's 5-0. Brendan Donovan, again, the hottest hitter on the fucking planet, 8-pitch at bat. The 8th pitch that he hit on a changeup, middle changeup. Again, that 1-0 count that we're talking about, or that 0-1 count that we're talking about. Pitch 1, almost the same exact spot where he didn't get the call last time. And then the pitch 5 that was called a ball should have been strike. The zone was not great. Wasn't a great zone. And just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Bring me the robot umps post haste.
Real quick,
so like I said, yeah.
You talked about stolen bases and everybody running on the Astros. And
Yes.
yeah, I think that's true. However, I think that the league in general is just running on everyone because stolen bases are up. I mean, even the Astros are running more. Do you know who's tied for fourth in Major League Baseball with 6 stolen bases? Jake Myers. So, I mean, when you look around the league, there's a lot of people running. There's a lot, and the caught stealings aren't good either. Like, there's a lot of teams or a lot of guys with like 2s and 3s. There's nobody like getting thrown out left and right. So, while I think we're hyper focused on it because we see the Astros getting ran on, I think if you look around, there is a lot of people stealing bases.
The pause that you are hearing is me thinking about the various baseball games that the Astros have not played and me thinking back and seeing, is Tom actually saying the right things, or is he just excusing the behavior? Who knows? So that
Jeremy Pena's got 4 stolen bags too. He's 23 on the list. So
he's got to up his game.
Yeah.
That, those 50 bags ain't going to steal themselves.
It's true. But I mean, the list is crazy. Like, O'Neal Cruz is leading with 8. PCA's got 7. Jake Mangum, he's got 7. John Bertie, noted base stealer, he's got 6. Nico Horner, also another noted base stealer, he's got 6. Trevor Story's got 6. Like, who? Those aren't guys that you see and go, oh, that's a speed demon. He's supposed to steal all his bags. Manny Machado is not fast. He is very good. He is not fast. He has 6 stolen bags. Randy Arozarena.
Garver fucking stole a bag on us. Mitch Garver.
But I'm just saying, it's up all the way around. I just listed a bunch of guys that don't sound like they're supposed to be leading the league in stolen bases.
Okay, first off, Trevor Story is still very fast. Jake Mangum is a grinder. The Rays just called him up. He'd been killing it in AAA. So the Rays are going to Ray.
Adolis Garcia has 4 stolen bags. Stop.
Listen, steroids can do magical things, sir. You know this, okay?
Josh Naylor has 4 stolen bags. Stop.
Okay, now that one I can't. That one I can't fucking explain. Riddle me this. Riddle me fucking this, Tom.
That's a big man. There ain't no way.
Josh Naylor has 4 stolen bags. How many stolen bags do you think Corbin fucking Carroll has?
Exactly.
0.
Exactly. It makes no sense.
0. They said, you know what we're going to do? We are going to turn, the Diamondbacks said, we are going to turn everything on its head. And the people that you think are going to run aren't going to fucking run. But the big guys are going to fucking lumber to second base. That's what's going to happen.
You're 40-man 5. Fine. Bryce Terang's got 4 bags stolen. Everyone's running. That doesn't
surprise me at all. That does not surprise me at all.
I'm just saying, everyone's running. Tommy Pham is 87 years old and he has 3 stolen bags.
Tommy Pham's still quick as shit, though.
That's fuck boy.
I mean, I'm not going to say Tommy Pham is not fast. If you want to be caught saying that Tommy Pham is not fast, then by all means, you can catch them hands. I am not going to say that.
Jose Altuve has 3 stolen bags.
Also not a surprise.
He's been caught twice. He's been caught stealing twice, though.
We can't talk about Jose Altuve and the base paths. We can't do it. But we are going to go back to that game because we were being just annihilated is what we were doing. So he doesn't get a quality start, and Fromber is the king of quality starts. He does not get out of the 5th inning. Bennett Souza comes in after that 6th run. Bennett Souza comes in, gets Jordan Walker to ground out, and then Nolan Gorman on a sac fly. Now it's 7-0, and now Pedro Pajes struck out. Thank Jesus. Top of the 6th, Doobie with a double. Them torpedo bats working for you, Doobie? Hopefully.
Apparently.
Fingers crossed. Chaz strikes out. Jose Altuve reaches on a fielder's choice. Isaac Paredes. Strikeout. Now, he did put 7 pitches on Sonny Gray. So, yay for long at bats.
They just need
And
to extend him.
Isak?
Yes. I know that sounds wild with all the names that they could go and throw money at. I don't know that you're going to find a dude that you can just start every day at third base like that. I mean, you know he's going to grind out at bats. He's hitting. I mean, maybe it's a hot take, maybe not, but just lock him up. I think he's 27, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Just lock him up.
Put it down in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree with Tom? Do you think that we should throw some money at Isaac Paredes? I don't hate that idea, Tom.
He just turned 26. Just turned 26 and 58 days. That's a baby.
Give me an offer. What do you think would be a reasonable offer? Like an actual offer, not like a crazy Mets deal or whatever. An actual offer that Jim Crane would be willing to give and that Isaac Paredes might entertain. What do you think that would be? I'm horrible with these deals.
Well,
I don't know what anything does.
I think he's got ARB years. So yes. So he's got ARB 3 and 4. So you could buy out his ARB years probably right now. Mm-hmm. If Dana
what's he making a year?
6.6.
So, that's this year?
Yes.
What was he making last year?
6.625. That I don't know.
You were Johnny on the spot with the numbers, Tom. Come on now.
All right. Give me a sec. 3.4. That's what he made last year. So that's the escalator for, young guy, whatever. Say you did the same thing. Say you signed him for 6 years, $80 million. You buy out his ARB years. Say that's what? Say that's 10 for 2026. That's 12 for 2027. That's 22. So that would leave 58 divided by 4. I know this is not a math pod.
Not a math pod.
For the people that are
not the
audio only. Susie's over there going, what? So
nope.
Let me see what that is real quick. I mean, that's probably not enough money. Clear 58 divided by 4. That's 14 and a half a year. Okay, so maybe go 6 years, 100. 6 years, 100. He's 33 when that contract's done. He can sign another deal. It's that number, that mythical, magical 6-year mark that Jim Crane doesn't want to go over. It's paying him early. It's very similar to what Jordan got.
Okay. So put it down in the comments, guys. What do you guys think about Tom's offer? 6 years, $100 million for Isaac Paredes. Lock up our third baseman for the next 6 years, and he can just feast on those Crawford boxes. Programming note. Last episode, we talked about Isaac and his home runs that he had hit, those Crawford box specials, saying that they would only be home runs here. I lied. I'm very sorry. I apologize. They would be home runs in 2 ballparks. 2. Ours. And do you know the other one, Tom?
I'm going to say Fenway, right?
Fenway.
Hey, I did not know. It was just a really good guess.
Yes. Those would be the only 2 those home runs would be home runs in. Anybody else? Not going to do it. So I'm just saying, Isaac, like if you want to put up crazy home run numbers, maybe we just put pen to paper, sign on the dotted line. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't want to call it a hometown discount because it's not. But I think
his hometown.
Well, no, I mean Mexico is. So this is as close as you can get. Sans, Arizona, California, something like that. Obviously, we offer no sales tax in Texas, so there's that, Chip. But I don't know. I feel like he would be the perfect guy to lock up long term and keep him right where he is, because you've already committed to Tuve to retire as an Astro. That's your leadoff hitter. You're supposed to commit to Yordan Alvarez. I don't see a scenario where they don't. and that's the top of your order. Everything else can be whatever.
I saw crazy motherfuckers on the timeline talking about trading Jordan.
People are dumb.
What
People are
stop
stupid.
it. Stop it right the fuck now.
So
Just stop it.
stupid.
So it's now the bottom of the 7th, and Luis Contreras comes in to replace Bennett Souza. The bottom of the 7th, we are down 0-7. Jake Myers replaces Jordan. Zach DeZenzo replaces Christian Walker. I didn't hate it, but that you are essentially just waving the white flag. Okay, sure. Christian Walker's going through it. You can kind of tell Jordan is pressing as well. I don't mind it. Get him out of the game, get him off their feet. Let the kids play.
Real quick,
And,
what do you think about Big Z being up? Do you think that's hurting him? He's not playing. Like,
yeah, I think he needs to go down.
I really think,
as much as that sucks.
I get it. You love his versatility. You can play him everywhere, and that's nice. But like we talked about how young he is, and what we think he could be one day. And I just think he needs reps. You just can't watch the games and he's not playing.
Yep. And it sucks, but who's going to come up instead? Like, who do you mind not getting reps?
That's a really good question. I'd have to look. I mean, I know there's some guys down that in Sugarland that are kind of hot right now. But I don't know like how that works with like position flexibility. I know you need like an outfielder / first baseman. I don't know. I just don't know that I want a young guy like him to just sit for so long. And it's like, once a week you get to play, and
yeah, here's a pinch hit opportunity against a nasty reliever.
Yeah, like how does he get timing? How does he get going? And I know he's not like a highly touted prospect or anything like that, but I really think like everything looks the part. If he gets the opportunity, he could be one of those guys you're like, wow, where'd they find this guy at?
Yeah, it is a little, I don't want to say disappointing, but I kind of feel like that's the word that needs to be said. Cam Smith has been playing pretty much every day. Before the season really started, Eswada had said, we're not going to bring up the young kids unless they can get everyday bats. And that's just not happening with Zach DeZenzo. And it's kind of unfair. Unfortunately, life is fucking unfair. So, but I would probably like him to go down and just get his bat right. I say bat right as if it's his fault that his bat is not being worked now. It's not. Like, it's through no fault of his own. Does he have to like sit? It's just, you know what? Like, you're not gonna bench Altuve. You're not gonna bench Jake Myers. You're not gonna bench Cam Smith. You're not gonna bench Christian Walker. Although we're gonna discuss Christian Walker, and maybe a day off or two maybe would help Christian Walker. I'm just saying. So, but let's finish the wrap up of the game 1. Because Nolan Arenado hits a home run off of Luis Contreras after an 8-pitch at bat. And this pitch that Luis Contreras just totally missed because it is a dick high fastball at 91 miles an hour. You can't put it there, sir. Can't do that. Hits one out. It's 8-0. Brendan Donovan again singles. Brendan Donovan is quite literally the hottest hitter on the fucking planet. Him and Jake Myers can't stop him. So Sonny Gray is finally out of the fucking game. In the 8th inning, guys. 8th inning. Sonny Gray. All of the defensive positions sub out. Jeremy Pena grounds out. Cam Smith grounds out. Mauricio Dubon singles. Chaz McCormick singles. Pinch hitter Brendan Rodgers comes in to replace Altuve. I was like, all right, that's fine. Brendan Rodgers hadn't played in a couple of games. Apparently, he had a sore hip. Mauricio had been over in second base area doing the things. You know how much I love giving flowers where flowers are due. And I dare say some of those defensive plays that do be made, I don't know if our short king would. And I know that that does sound blasphemous. I understand. And that hurts my heart as well to say. But if you take off your fan hat just real quick, you kind of know that I'm right. All right? Okay. So, unfortunately, we leave 2 runners on base in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, who comes in to pitch against? Let's see. Is that still Ryan Fernandez comes in. So Ryan Fernandez comes in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Is this still Luis Contreras pitching? The bottom of the 8th? Why do you not tell me? I'm being a very poor host and just you're listening to all of the silence. Nothing is wrong with your headphones or radio or wherever you're listening to this. I'm just trying to find out who the frick pitched the bottom of the 8th. Anyhow, whoever did walked Victor Scott, then Michael Ciani singled. It was Luis Contreras. There we go. Michael Ciani singled. Lucan Baker, hometown kid, grounds into a double play, and then El Burleson grounds out. Rodri Munoz has like a 10-something ERA, comes in to pitch the 9th. Isak Paredes walks. Jake Myers with a force out. How do they rule defensive indifference and a steal? Like, what's the line of demarcation there?
They have to make an attempt, or like somebody has to try to cover the bag. I guess when nobody makes it over there, it's just basically like, oh, we don't care.
Okay. So, like I said, Isak walks. Jake with the force out. Jake goes to second on defensive indifference. All of the things that we've been saying about Zach DeZenzo, just throw that out the window because Zach goes up there and says, timing, what timing? I got my timing. Look, 6 pitches in, he gets a single, sharp line drive to the right field, and Jake goes first to third. Obviously, Zach goes to second on defensive indifference. Yiner is just swinging at all of the balls, just so many balls being swung at outside of the zone. I was really hoping that after he hit that grand slam and he realized that he was being pitched a little differently in that game, that he realized that maybe, just maybe, I need to stay inside the zone and go after better pitches. I say that fully knowing how filthy some of these pitchers are, how nasty some of these pitches actually look, and that they can fool you. But, I mean, he is just literally swinging at all of the things, guys. All of the things and striking out. And it's not a great look. So Yiner Diaz strikes out. Now there's 2 outs, and Jeremy Pena just batting stance change just a little bit different. No more bat waggle. He's opening up a little bit, change the angle, change the batting stance, and hits a 96 mile an hour, almost dick high fastball, and just hits it for a 3-run home run. And the silver lining in that game was at least we didn't get shut out. So I was like, okay, Cardinals, I see you doing the things. Whatever. But
Shea
then I was
Wickham
looking
is
at
the answer to your question earlier, by the way.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can say, I don't feel I feel less good about Shea Wickham coming up than Zach.
Do you care? Do you care if he plays? No.
Kind of. Like I care less. I care less if Shea plays.
I'm just saying, like, you want to bring somebody up that, okay, he plays once every 5th day, right? Once every 6th day. To me, Shea Wickham's playing first base right now. And if he's playing first base and we're not talking about sitting C. Walker for Big Z, then bring Shea Wickham up, who's already been up, who should be on the 40-man, and send Big Z down to get some work.
Okay. All right. I
You were
mean,
like, who's going to
yeah.
come up? And I was like, I need to find out who's playing first base for Sugarland right now. It's Shea Wickham. And he's got 4 bombs on the season. OPS is 788. I know that means nothing, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's
his numbers are better than Christian Walker's right now.
that's not saying much though. That's not
He's got 14 hits and 12 RBIs.
yeah, that's not saying much. So Cardinals, I went into the Cardinal series. Now the Cardinals going into the series, we had almost the same exact record. I think before we started that series, I think it was like 7-8. So I'm going in looking at their pitching staff and saying their pitchers are not that great. Like we can win this, right? We had Fromber going, we had Hunter Brown going, we had was it Hayden? No, it was Ronell, wasn't it?
Ronell, yeah.
Yeah, we had Ronell going.
Hayden goes Saturday.
I was cautiously optimistic. Obviously, Fromber and Hunter 1 and 2 against a Cardinals lineup that I didn't think was going to be great. And, Lars Newbar and Brendan Donovan and Nolan Arenado said, fuck you, Susie. Watch what we can do. And I should have known because Ivan Herrera, who had been their hottest hitter before he went on the IL, had been driving in runs. So these motherfuckers were getting on base. And I should have paid attention to that, but I didn't. It didn't click in the old noggin up here. And so I was looking up stats, as one does after one gets pummeled by a team that you're like, I don't understand how or why. And do you know who or what team hits the most balls in zone?
Mm-mm.
That would be one St. Louis Cardinals.
Sounds like a perfect storm to me. You got an officiating crew, an umpire crew that is very, very tight, and you take a team that takes advantage of stuff left in the zone. Voila, they're going to score a bunch of runs, and they were at home, and they were day games. The Astros are noted bad day game baseball players.
I don't know what you're talking about. We love day games. What? That's so silly.
I just want to point out, I said bring up Shea Whitcomb. He immediately doubled. Immediately.
I mean, he knows that you were talking about him, apparently.
I love that.
He knew that you were talking about him. Shea said, you know what? I think I'm telepathically linked to Tom, and I should probably do the good things because Tom is giving me all of the compliments. That is what he's doing. So let's talk about that Wednesday game. Excuse me, that Tuesday game. I just skipped over Hunter Brown and all of the good things that I need to say about Hunter Brown. I'm going to keep beating this drum, and I'm going to dismiss everything that Tom says because I choose to believe that Hunter Brown is going to get some sort of extension from the Astros. That's what my Delulu brain needs to believe, guys. That's what I want to happen.
That won't happen? I hope it does. I mean, I
know
you
say that you hope it does, but the odds, you're saying the odds of it happening, probably not going to happen. And also, Jim Crane, probably not going to do the things that needs to be done. I, again, am choosing to be Delulu and saying, I think it should happen.
The way he's pitching right now, the way he is basically carrying this club, I don't know how you don't. You need to ensure your rotation has, a front end of it, and you're either going to go out and try to find it, or you're going to pay what you got. And I know everybody's like, strap Frember to a rocket, send him to the moon. That's fine. If you do that, you absolutely need to pay Hunter Brown.
That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. Where do you think the Houston Astros land in league standings for WRC plus. That's weighted runs created plus, people, in case you guys don't know all of the fun acronyms.
It's got to be at the bottom.
We are 24th with an 84 WRC plus. Guys, 100 league average. That's what we bare minimum 100 is kind of where we want to be. Who do you think is the top 5 in WRC plus? Tom, don't look.
I'm not looking.
Cheater pants.
I'm not looking. I was looking at something else.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. Let's see. Top 5. Well, the Dodgers, right? They got to be up there. The Yankees, right? They got to be up there.
The Yankees, yes. The Dodgers, no.
Okay. What about the Mets?
Yankees are number 1 at 140. 140 WRC plus. The New York Yankees.
What about the Mets?
The Mets are not on there. The Mets are 20th.
Damn.
With a 95 WRC plus.
Okay. Who else has been beating the crap out of the baseball? The Giants?
The Giants are 12th with a 108 WRC plus.
The Padres?
The Padres are 6th with a 120 WRC plus.
Well, see, you can tell I'm not cheating. I'm all over the place.
Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah, do it.
Because I don't think you're not gonna get most of these. Number 2, the Arizona motherfucking Diamondbacks at 124. The Tampa Bay Rays at 122.
That's the one I would be like, wow, no way.
Tied with the St. Louis Cardinals, 122. Followed by the Chicago Cubs, 121.
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I don't doubt it.
Yankees, Diamondbacks, Rays, Cardinals, Cubs, and all the way down. Fuck, even Seattle. Even Seattle has a better WRC plus than we do right now, guys. At 107.
I look at that as a good thing because their record should be worse based on that.
So that's not fun. I don't like that.
And the other thing too, like I was talking about the other day, and then you found I think Brooksgate that came out and said they've just been really unlucky. Like Jordan scalded a ball in that series down the first base line that was like 100 and something miles an hour off the bat, like directly at the first baseman. It's a double anyone else. And Jordan just kind of stood there and was like, well, that's what I get right now. I mean, the guy didn't have a chance to react. It was like glove up, bang. I mean, some of those things suck. Isak had a play like that. I talked about in the last show where it was down the third base line. It's like, that's a double. Like in that game where Framber blew up, we didn't talk about it, but before the 3-run bomb, a bunt goes foul. It's like all the way foul. I don't care who says, oh, it was on the line. Bullshit. All the way foul. And Isak picks it up. The umpire.
Wasn't that in the Ronald Blanco game?
Was it that one? Maybe.
I think it was the Ronald.
Yeah, you're right.
It was
the
Ronald Blanco game.
Anyway, that's what started that whole 3-run rally. Like, I mean, then a bloop single. Like, they've just been so unlucky with the dumb shit. And it's like, for me, that's like a comforting thing. Like, everybody else is going, oh well, this team sucks. You know, they're boring. You know what I've seen a lot lately? A lot of people are calling them boring, and I'm like, what do you want them doing? Like dancing in the streets after losses? Like what do you want them doing?
Listen,
like
as much as I'm ride or die for this team, I kind of have to agree with them. I mean, it's okay. What do you think our slug is right now as a team, Tom?
Okay, it's not good. So why on earth should they be like excited about being bad right now?
Well, no, but I'm saying like watching the team. Are you saying the team is boring, or are you saying watching the team is boring?
No, people are saying the team is boring. There's no excitement in the clubhouse. I'm like, yeah, they're fucking struggling. What do you want them to do?
Okay.
Like,
Well, what I misunderstood from that was that they were boring to watch. And honestly, they
oh
kind of
no.
are because their slug is 317, Tom. 317. That is the 27th. We are 27th out of 30th in slug right now. Uh, Followed only by the Kansas City Royals, the Chicago White Sox, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's like one of these things is not like the other, but apparently we fucking are because here we are with the slug down
Yeah,
here.
but it's all the sluggers that are struggling. You look at the team. You go and you look at the roster. Where are our problems right now? It's Jordan Alvarez. It's Yainer Diaz. It's
It's
those are
Christian
those.
Walker.
It's
Yes.
Christian Walker. Yeah, that's 3, 4, 5 right now, and those are the guys that are supposed to be bopping all the homers. And I don't know what you want. Those are guys that I think have a track record. They're proven. People are already out on Christian Walker, which is dumb. They're already like, oh nope, this is Jose Abreu 2.0, and I'm like, this is dumb. It's been 20 games, and here we are already like, nope, this guy sucks. We just gave away $20 million for no reason, and I think you gotta let this man cook. You just have to let. Are y'all the people that are ready to trade Jordan Alvarez? It's the same thing, and it's like, look, if you are out after 20 games of 162, I hope no one ever treats you the same way in your personal lives, because that is such a fraction of the whole, and you're like, not trash. And I'm like, come on. If and I say this jokingly, right? If I was graded on the first hour of my shift, getting into work, getting situated, getting going, I'm not a early starter either. Like that takes time. Like, and then I get my shit together and I go. Like, I guess this is what they are. I mean, it's ironic that the minute Tuck and Breggs leave, they're like, let's just hit the cover off the baseball. But they were slow starters too.
Yep.
So I don't know.
And for all of you motherfuckers that are talking about Breggs on the Red Sox, they are also struggling, guys. Okay? They might have a tiny bit of better record than we do, but the Red Sox also struggling. The Red Sox also are having issues with Bregman's defense.
Which is wild.
Fucking wild. I realize that he just had a fucking 5-hit game, 2 home runs. I fucking know. I get it. All
And a
right?
baby.
But yes. But I need you to know that all is not well in Boston, all right? All is not well in Red Sox land. I need you guys to know this. I understand that if you're listening to this show, odds are you're probably not locked into any other teams, but your girl is. That's why I'm here. All right? I consume a lot of baseball content, and some of those bits stick in my head. And I need you to know that not all is well in Red Sox land. So it's like that Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing. We're the same. We're the fucking same. So we're gonna go back to the second game where we give Hunter Brown all his fucking flowers because that man deserves all the fucking compliments and praise and cookies and gold stars. We're gonna do that in just a minute. But to really kind of prove my point of what the actual fuck, Cardinals, because like me, I know some of you guys were a little bit surprised as well because the Cardinals, they're not supposed to be good, right? Where do you think they fall in strike percentage, Tom?
Don't know.
19.5%. They strike out 19.5% of the time, which is 26th. Opposed to, say, the number one team that strikes out all the time, which is Colorado, at 29.6%. We are at 22.6%. That lands us at 16th. I don't hate that. I don't love that, obviously. But where do you think our walk rate is?
Probably the same. Somewhere in the middle. Maybe even higher than that. Christian Walker, for all he doesn't do at the plate right now, he's willing to take a walk. I think he's been picked on a little bit by some questionable umpiring where it's like 3-2 and
those pitches that have just been dotted up. Oh my God. Guys.
And every one of them is a strike. Like none of them. He hasn't got one of them. And I'm just like, I feel for the guy, you know, I really do. I really don't think he's a bad baseball player. I know everybody has uh whatever the hangover you call from Jose Abreu, and they're burnt, they're hurt, they're scarred, they can't get over it, and everything reminds me of him. And I don't think this is the same guy. I think you're
It's
going to be.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. It's not the same, but it's kind of the same because way back when we signed Jose Abreu, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Jose Abreu! Like he's gonna feast on the Crawford boxes." The narrative was kind of similar. I get it. I understand. The defense wasn't there. The defense wasn't there. Let's just be really fucking clear on this. We were not signing Jose Abreu for his Gold Glove defense. Now, Christian Walker comes with the Gold Glove defense plus a bat. And when it gets going, I promise it's gonna look good. We're gonna look back on this and be like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. We just gotta get there for right now. We just gotta get there for right now. Walk percentage for Seattle, St. Louis, 8.8%. They only walk 8.8% of the time. So we're winning in one category. We're winning in one category between us and St. Louis, and that's drawing walks.
Yeah, but the bottom line, I don't think like St. Louis was going to have a problem scoring runs. I think if you look at their lineup, they've got guys that can hit. Obviously, we tried to trade for Nolan Arenado. The Astros tried to go get that guy, and he went out and put on a show. So I think the knock on the Cardinals was always going to be their pitching. It's always been their pitching, and they got decent pitching. Or the Astros are just aren't hitting, however you want to look at it. But that was the difference in this series to me. When the Astros had good pitching, they won. When the Astros did not have good pitching, they lost. So that's it for me in a nutshell. All the other numbers, I mean, you can nitpick it however you want, but I mean, they have to score runs. They just have to score runs. And the middle of their lineup is struggling mightily. And until they get going, you're gonna get some games where they give you like 2 runs. You're gonna give some games where they give you like 4 runs, and then you're gonna get that one outlier where everyone's hitting and they give you friggin' 14 runs. So you just hope that there's a consistency somewhere in there.
Yeah. Hi. Okay, so we're going to talk about this Tuesday game. Guys, this Tuesday game, Hunter Brown put on a fucking clinic. I mean, he was great. Selfishly, did I want a few more strikeouts? Yes. Yes,
For
I
your
did.
fantasy team.
For my fantasy team. But, again, quality fucking start, guys. Quality fucking start. 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks for an ERA of 1.5. I'm sorry, a what now? 1.5 ERA. Hunter Brown. What's that crazy streak of his? Going back to like May? No, not May. No, is it May of last year? Is it a scoreless streak?
It was something like that. Oh, I don't know. That seems like a long way.
I feel like it's a long way, but when I heard it initially, I was like, that's stupid, crazy long. So I'm going to look that up in just a minute while Tom talks about how amazing Hunter Brown is. And also, we need to talk about how when he didn't get those calls, was it in the second inning? I think it was no, hold on. There was one of those innings where something happened and I was all, really? We're doing this shit again? This is, okay, fine. And he was just kind of getting bleeped and blooped to death. I mean, like, some of these hits that he was giving up are just one of those you're like, I don't understand. Is there a remote control? Does someone have a remote control ball that they're just guiding into an area where no one can get to this? Because they're not hard line drives. They're just bloops. And it's literally, you're getting cut by 1,000 paper cuts and just a little bit of lemon juice gets squeezed into there, because I really feel like Hunter Brown may be the unluckiest pitcher in the entire world. Because it always kind of seems like that's what happens to him. Yeah.
I feel like that's
Lars
part
Newbar,
of what makes him really good, is because he's missing barrels all the time. And sometimes you're just going to get just enough of the baseball to where it's right over a shortstop or right over a second baseman. and it's not going to be hard hit contact, and it's not going to be some sexy highlight, but it'll get him on base. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Hunter Brown. I think what separates Hunter from some of the other guys is that his pitch mix is just really good right now. I think him and Yiner have a really good working relationship. You see them come off the mound constantly, talking about things and really working through their processes. Where I still think like Yiner has a plan for, like, say, Fromber, and they don't disagree, but I don't think they always agree. And I think sometimes that is something that might hurt Fromber. I think Yiner's worked really hard behind the dish to really work with all these pitchers to get a good system going on. I mean, I look at what Hunter's doing, and I'm like, he should catch everybody all the time, because whatever they're doing, I need that carbon copy. And I can't remember who caught Hayden the other night when he went for 10 Ks, but something that these guys are doing is working. And I need Spencer back. That would be great.
I do need Spencer back. So the stat that I saw, I was combining two different stats. So the stat that I saw, Hunter Brown has had the second lowest ERA since May of 2024, with a ERA of a 2.37. Only guy lower. That would be one NL Rookie of the Year, Paul motherfucking Skeens. And we all know how disgustingly ridiculous Paul Skeens is.
It's very good company.
Very good company. And it's 17 consecutive scoreless for Hunter. So those were the two stats that I saw that I just combined, right? I'm like,
he's the greatest pitcher in the world.
Exactly. I'm like, scoreless since May of last year seems a bit much. I realize that that's not correct. Let's try and and do some good reporting here, Susie. So that's what those stats were. But again, the fucking zone is just ridiculous. When Tom is saying that Christian Walker is getting struck out, I mean, you cannot. Let's see if my camera will pick this up. Oh no. If you're on YouTube, you will see an overblown. What if I turn off my camera? Hold on. Or not my camera, my light. See if that helps. That does not help. Oh, maybe.
Go up a little bit. There you go. I can see it.
Can you see it? Okay, well, if you're on YouTube, you will see at the very dotted edge of the corner, low and away, you will see where that Christian Walker gets called out. It is, I mean, hats off to you, Eric Fetty, because maybe a seam caught the edge of the strike zone, and the umpire gave it to you. Like, he was getting dotted up, and it wasn't great. But there was some great things that Hunter Brown was doing. Finally, in the top of the sixth, Jeremy Pena doubles. Jake Myers. How many hits do you think that only Jake Myers has to have in order to get that man a batting helmet that will fit him?
I think at this point it's not going to happen. I think he needs a chin strap.
Okay, I think you're right. Because that game, that literally, I have to call him Hit King now, because he's literally the only guy that's doing anything. He went 3 for 4 in this game. 3 for 4. And drove in one. So, which gets him his batting average up to 289 for an OPS of 686. Hit King, Jake Myers. All of the nice things, Jake Myers. All of the nice things, because I've been beating the drum. I've been beating the drum of I would much rather have Chaz out there than Jake. And Jake says, I hear you, Susie. I hear you talking shit. And I'm going to make you look like a fucking idiot. Because look what I can do. I think that's it. I think there's a picture of the podcast, like, up in his locker. And he's like, I'm going to make this particular podcast look like a fucking fool for not believing in me. Hand up. I hope he continues it. I hope he continues it. And reverse jinx is gonna work all fucking season. Let's go. Fingers crossed. But the fact that we won that game 2-0, 2-0, guys, just should say all of the things, because when you win a game 2-0, your pitching has got to be fucking almost perfect. Literally ridiculous. Hunter Brown comes in, gives us 6. Brian King, my Salmon King, I love you. All right, like he's the new reliever. He's the new reliever of the season that comes in and everyone's all, I'm sorry, who's your new reliever that's really fucking good and no one's heard of? Brian King. The other Brian. The other Brian. Because our other Brian, Brian Abreu, the one that we're more familiar with, comes in for an inning, shuts him down. And then Josh Hader comes in, shuts him down. Do you know what Josh Hader's ERA is right now?
Mm-mm. Should be like
A
0.
1.
Oh,
A 1.
okay. 1.
Yeah. Brian Abreu is the one that has the highest ERA of all of those pitchers. All of our pitchers were on. Like I said, Hunter Brown with a 1.5 ERA, Brian King with a 0 ERA, Abreu with a 3.52, and Hader with a 1. That's pretty good, guys. It's pretty fucking good.
That is the game with the Jordan bomb, right?
Is this the game with the Jordan bomb? I believe.
In like the 8th or 9th or something. I don't remember. It was late.
Yes, in the 8th. Jake Myers, like I said, got the scoring started in the 6th, and then the bomb for Jordan off of Leahy. That wasn't even in the fucking zone. He just extended his arms.
Which is wild, man. Guy's got crazy
Line
power. Dead
drive.
central too.
Yep. Line drive to center field. Came off the bat at 107.6 for 419 feet.
Take it.
So 2-0. 2-0. Hunter Brown, Diesel, we love you. Rona Blanco comes in Wednesday, getaway day. Now, I understand that off days are often planned in advance. Okay. And I understand that Jordan had run 43 miles. There was lots of running in the games that he was in the outfield for. But we're trying to win the series, and just nope. We're not even gonna have Jordan DH. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. Like before the off day, really? Like you couldn't have sat Christian Walker? Because if anybody needed sitting, I'm just saying maybe it's Christian Walker. Like maybe he just needs a day to just decompress and not have to worry about a fucking thing. And not have to worry about getting dotted on the fucking outer corner that he can't fucking do shit with. And he is thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to be patient and I'm going to draw a walk. And then the umpire says, nah. So that's a strike. Just saying, maybe Christian Walker could have sat on the day before the off day and get like 2 whole days off to just clear his mind. Not even think about it.
Now, I don't know, and we can never know what's going on in the clubhouse, right? But I think there are certain guys that don't want those days off. I think Bregman was one of them too. You know, when he was slow last year, I know we talked about that. And maybe Christian Walker isn't a guy that wants the time off. He wants to work through it. So as much as I think it's easy to go, oh, just sit him. That's all he needs. He needs a break. I think I'm choosing to believe that Christian Walker is the other way around going, no, I need to be in the box. I need to be playing. Where I think they are genuinely concerned about Yordan Alvarez's legs. And anytime he's going to see any kind of run in the outfield, they're going to plan for days off for him. And while I get what you're saying where, oh, we need to win series, and it needs to happen now. Joe Espada has got to be able to give this guy days off. Like, They've got to be able to win a game on a getaway day without Yordan Alvarez. They can't. They got bigger problems. You know what I mean? So while this sucks, obviously it'd be better to be, at 500 than where they are now. It's still early. I think Joe Espada is more concerned with health and longevity versus the one game in St. Louis. Maybe if it was at home, maybe he gets the start. Maybe on the road, it's probably better. Okay, we'll get an extra day off. That sort of thing. I don't know. I didn't think Yordan Alvarez was going to make or break this game. I thought they needed to be able to win it without it. I thought Ronell needed to pitch good, and neither of those things happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, when I say that Christian Walker is just getting just absolutely hosed on these calls, trying to there we go. Okay. I am trying to be a good host, and I am now going to show you on the actual screen without showing my phone. Hold on, maybe. There we go. And click on the game day. And so if you are audio only, go look at the YouTubes and you will see these pitches that we are talking about that are just being dotted on Christian Walker. I mean, pitch 1 was a strike, called strike on a curveball that was low and in, dotted. I'd say probably half a ball on the line. And then pitch 6, just dotted again, another fucking curveball, up and away. I mean, it's just, again, I'm going to tip my hat to fucking Steven Matz. I shouldn't, because Steven Matz is really not that good of a pitcher, guys. But apparently, he was on that day because he was dotting this fucking pitch up, and it was gross. It was gross, and I don't want to give him credit, but I have to. But Christian Walker is wearing it. Like, there's just no two ways about it. Every single time he strikes out, you can see the visible frustration on this man's face. I mean, he is slamming helmets. I don't think I've seen a bat over the knee, but I think we're getting into that territory at some point.
And see, the thing of this is, and what we really want you to understand is that these are pitchers' pitches. Like, Christian Walker's doing the right thing by not swinging at these pitches. You begged Jeremy Pena forever to not swing at these low and away pitches, and Christian Walker's laying off them. Any one of those pitches are going to be soft contact that you're going to be frustrated that he hit into an easy out, and to lay off of them because there's nothing he could do with them is probably the right thing to do. You just can't be upset when it goes the other way,
Yeah. So like we talked about in the Fromber game, Ronell was doing a decent job of pitching. Wasn't super great, wasn't super sharp, but was getting the outs. Was he getting hit a little bit? Yeah. But there was no scoring, literally no scoring until the fucking bottom of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth, where Victor Scott singles on a bunt ground ball that the pitch was so far outside the fucking zone, guys. So again, I'm going to be a good host, and if you are audio only, go to the YouTubes so you can see where this pitch was. I'm going to share my screen in 2 shakes of lamb's tail. I don't even really know what that means, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it apparently, because it's delightful. So we're going to pull that up, and I just made my screen very small. And we are going to present and share screen. And here we go. Do you guys see how far outside the zone that ball is? Like, it shouldn't even have been a thing. But freaking Victor Scott, who was very fast, for a bunt up the third base line, like, Esau can't get to it. So now we have a runner on first. Thomas Sajaci singles.
Which was a
Again,
bloop
guys.
single.
Yep, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this fucking pitch too because it was dumb. Maybe I'm gonna show you. I'm trying to click on the X. Oh, haha, that's why. Because I have to click on the X over here, guys. So Thomas to JC singles. Do you see where that pitch is? It is literally in the other batter's box. It is so far away from him that he hits 64 miles an hour. 64. Are you fucking kidding me? Again, blooped and bleeped to death. Because it is literally just, it's hit just enough to go over. Was it Brendan Rodgers out there? Because I want to say it was Brendan Rodgers that played second that day. Over Brendan Rodgers, but obviously not far enough to where Cam Smith could get to it. So now we got 2 on pitches that shouldn't have been fucking hit.
Should have been strikes, both of them.
And then this happens. Let's see. Then a home run happens. And this is where this is the play that you had referenced earlier, Tom, with the foul ball. So one of these pitches was a foul ball. Why does it say both of these were balls? Interesting. One of these was not a ball. One of these was a foul ball that came back to bite us in the ass. Isak was like, okay, I'm gonna be smart and I'm gonna let this ball go foul, which it did.
No, that was the Scott, the first one. The first at bat was that. The one that was outside yes, it was the one that he bunted up the line. It was on the line. It looks it 100% it's foul. Even Ben Verlander, who people think is Astros homer, said this is a foul ball. And then he gets on because the umpire says it's a fair ball. So that's what started
and then he
all
singles.
of this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have that, which that's a foul ball. He's down in the count, changes everything. Then you have the bloop single, which I think that's probably strike 3. I don't even think he should be able to get to that thing. And then you have this.
Okay, so we're both wrong, Tom. Victor Scott's was the bunt up the third baseline. That was his only pitch. It was Thomas to JC that had the foul ball.
No, that's what I'm saying. The bunt was foul. The bunt was on the other side of the chalk. It should have been a foul ball. Instead, the umpire said it was a fair ball, and that's what put him on base.
Okay. I'm choosing to believe you because my memory obviously is Swiss cheese over here. So just know that one of these players, the umpire, because foul balls are not reviewable, guys. No. If you guys didn't know, foul balls are not reviewable. I don't fucking know why. Foul balls are not reviewable. Besides, I don't know, like umpire job security. That it's the stupidest fucking rule that foul balls cannot be reviewable. And to also hit by pitches. I feel like that too. Anyways, but literally there's a camera angle where you see this ball go over the fucking line. And Isak Paredes is staring at it, and the umpire is literally right there staring at it. You see it go over the fucking line, and then the umpire says fair. After it goes over the line, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And apparently the reason he said that it was fair was because it was barely on the chalk line. Like any part of the ball, if any part of the ball touches the chalk line, even if it's the outside portion of the chalk line, it's a fair ball.
Yeah, Isak had to let it go foul. If he picks it up on the line, then it's considered a fair ball. He had to let it get all the way over the line and then play it. So the umpire thought, well, it's still on the line, and he grabbed it trying to like take advantage of the situation, swiping away from the line when in fact you can see the other side of the ball.
Okay. So are we saying that Isak probably should have just let it go roll a centimeter more then? Because it kind of looked like in the shot, like if he had not touched it, it probably would have gone
See,
literally a centimeter more.
I think the way I saw it, it looked like Isak was smart to grab it when he did, because if it lands on a lace and goes the other way, well then it's on the foul line. As soon as it went foul is when he should grab it, because then you can say, okay, I got it in foul territory, it's dead. If it comes back in, if it rolls back the other way, well then it's a fair ball. You know what I mean? It can go foul and then come back fair before it hits the third baseline all at once. So as soon as it went foul, he tried to grab it to stop it from coming back fair, but the umpire had already decided it was on the line and it was a fair ball.
Gotcha. Okay. Regardless, it hurt because Lars Newbar comes up and hits a 108.4 mile an hour fastball. Excuse me, curveball. It came in at 80 miles an hour. And Lars Newbar said, here's this ball. Jordan, I know yours went far. Mine can go almost just as far because it was a center field line drive, 418 feet. So, and if you don't know, Lars Newbar is slight build, not Jordan build. So now it's 3-1. And you're like, oh my God, we just lost the game. Because of course we lost the game on a fucking thing like that, because that's what happens. That's kind of, it feels like that. However, I'm so glad that the people are saying, hey, look at these numbers, because it makes me feel a little bit better about the season in its entirety. Because a lot of people are like, I get it. We all get it. It's a slow start, whatever. But look at what we've done in years past, in seasons past, and it's not anything fucking different. I thought maybe if Alex Bregman wasn't on the team, we would get off to a hotter start. It's not. It's not. Except for last year when, we got off the god awful start. This is the record that we have had, guys. This is the record. So we just don't like playing in April. It takes us a little while to shake off the fucking rust.
So before this series started, there was something, I can't remember who, maybe it was Tags. I can't remember who put it out. But basically the last 6 years. So obviously last year was like the worst, right? They had that horrible start. It was like 5-11 after 16 games. The season before that, 7-9. 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 And then this year, 7-9. So for anyone that sees that and goes, oh well, they're cooked. I mean, this is a place they've been every year, and it has not mattered the last 6 seasons.
That was with Alex Bregman, and that was with Kyle Tucker, and I get it, guys. I get it. I understand. I say we all want Breggs back. I'm fine with not having Breggs back, but would I like Tucker? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would like Tucker back, but we can have him. And Jim Crane is for definitely not going to fucking pay him what he's going to be worth, what he's going
Looks
to
like
command.
the Cubs are going to pay him, which I think is good for the Cubs.
Good for the Cubs. Good for the Cubs, because if I had to watch Kyle Tucker in the other pinstripes in New York, I would probably kill myself. I would probably yeet myself off a fucking bridge. That would make me the saddest panda on the face of the fucking planet.
He would kill it there though with that Mickey Mouse short porch.
Don't even put it into the fucking ether, Tom. No, absolutely not. We're not doing that. The bottom of the 6th, though, unfortunately, Cam Smith drops a foul pop-up. It would have been an out, but he ran in hard, and the ball kind of bounced out of his glove. Like he kind of had it, but it kind of hit the heel of his glove, and it bounced out. And unfortunately, the next fucking batter, Yohel Pozo. Even Cardinals fans are like, who the fuck is Yohel Pozo? Who's that? Yeah, the backup catcher, Yohel Pozo. after that drop foul, Jordan Walker goes to first, and Yoel Pozo now hits a single. And because of course he does, because that's what happens, right? And 2 batters later, Thomas DeJacy with a double that wasn't even in the zone. Logan Van Wy, you did wonderfully. This is an Altuve pitch that Thomas DeJacy hit. It was like at his neck for a double, and you're all that tracks. That tracks. 4-1. 4-1. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. The only thing that made me kind of happy was that Taylor Scott came in, and in the bottom of the 7th, Taylor Scott comes in, gets the last out in the bottom of the 7th, and then basically gets Yoel Pozo, Victor Scott, and Thomas DeJacy. Walks Victor Scott on 6 pitches, but he looks a little bit sharper. If you had listened to the past podcasts, you will hear Susie be just a slight bit concerned about Taylor Scott. So, thankfully, he's looking a little bit sharper. I totally forgot that Phil Maton signed with the Cardinals. Legitimately, totally forgot that Phil Maton had signed with the Cardinals. So when he came out of the pen, I was all, "Hey,
I know him.
We know him." Of course, it was the Magic Man version of Phil Maton, and not the one that got.
Serial killer.
Oh no, the serial killer was there, but I was saying the later on version of Phil Maton that was basically just couldn't get anything in the strike zone and just walked a bunch of people. We couldn't get that version of Phil Maton. No, we got the Magic Man version of Phil Maton and just sat us down. Ground out, strike out, fly out. Cam Smith, Chas McCormick, and Jose Altuve. And then in the top of the 9th, Ryan Helsley comes in, gets Jeremy Pena on a ground out. Isaac Paredes works a walk, an 8-pitch walk, so put some pitches on him. Christian Walker pops out, of course. And again, I feel bad for Christian Walker because we're talking about pitches getting dotted up on this man. The pitch that he hit for a pop out was 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. And then Yainer Diaz lines out with he hit a 99.6 mile an hour fastball just outside the zone. Lines out sharply to right fielder Victor Scott, and that ends the St. Louis series. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I would like, I just would like to win some more games. I would just like to win some more games. That would make my emotional well-being feel a little bit better.
So maybe don't tweet.
I don't.
We're gonna get swept by the San Diego Padres, aren't we?
I'm sorry?
I said, so maybe don't tweet. We're gonna get swept by the San Diego Padres, aren't we?
Listen, I am trying to put the reverse jinx on, okay? However, the San Diego Padres, for as much as I thought that they were going to fucking suck this season because of all the drama that they had in the offseason, they are fucking killing it. Absolutely killing it. And they're doing it without fucking Jackson Merrill. He's out with a hamstring injury. But Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, looking like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado doing fucking amazing things. We all thought that, of course, the Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers and are going to win all of the games. But guess what, guys? Who is in first place in the NL West? Is the Dodgers? Absolutely the fuck not. It's the Padres with a 15-4 record. They finally got handed a loss the other night by the Cubs, I think. Their run differential is 37, plus 37. I love it so much. I love it so much. Yeah, they finally lost at home. They come to Dyken Park. That's fine. They're coming to the Icebox. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the first night, Friday night, we see Kyle Hart. If you don't recognize the name Kyle Hart, welcome. Neither do we. I want to say he's one of those pitchers that came from Korea, if I'm remembering correctly. He's got a 2-0 record, 5.4 ERA, and he will face Ryan Gusto. But, do you remember who else is on that team, though? That Padres team?
I
Tom?
do. I don't talk about those people though.
You don't talk about those people? I don't know why. You're probably going to see one of those people literally in the game.
Because the Astros fans wanted him gone, so they got him gone, and that's Yuli Gurriel.
Yuli Gurriel is on the team. Yuli Gurriel is on the team. You don't know who else is on the team, Tom?
Nobody else that of note.
Nobody else of note?
Nobody else.
Nobody with any intangibles? Yes,
Fuck
folks.
the word intangibles. I don't even know what that is.
If you picked up on that, all the guys everybody that wanted Maldi gone, he is gone. He's not on our team because he is on the San Diego motherfucking Padres. San Diego Padres, guys. So we welcome back Yuli Gurriel and Martin Maldonado. But they're doing this without the main people that were big contributors last season for them. Again, like we thought, Jurickson Profar was great for them. Jay Cronenworth, which I understand is not like a huge loss, but Jay Cronenworth is out for them. So their first baseman right now, I want to say, is sometimes Luis Ariz and sometimes Connor motherfucking Joe. Like, excuse me, what? No. How is this San Diego Padres lineup doing this, guys? It's Oscar Gonzalez is one of their fielders. If you guys don't remember who Oscar Gonzalez is, I think it was last season. No, maybe it was 2 seasons ago. He had the SpongeBob SquarePants walk-up music. He got DFA'd by the fucking Guardians, guys. And now here he is on the Padres doing the things. Also, Jason Hayward. Gavin Sheets is off of the fucking White Sox and now is change of scenery guy. Killing it. Xander Bogaerts obviously there. Elias Diaz is their main catcher now. But again, it's one of those things where this lineup, you're looking at it and you're like, this is so top heavy. After the big guys, Fernando, Manny Machado, sometimes Xander Bogaerts, it should be an easy lineup. We should be able to maneuver it. And unfortunately, it's those guys that you don't think are doing the things that are doing the things. So Friday night, we face Kyle Hart, lefty, on the mound. Soft tossing lefty.
So you ask how they're doing this and how they are where they are. Part of it is their schedule. They beat up on the A's. They beat up on the Rockies. They beat up on the Braves. They recently beat up on the Cubs, but the Cubs handed them 2 losses early. They swept the Guardians as well. So part of it is their schedule.
You can only play who you play, guys. Like I'm just saying. And if you don't know, the Braves are bad this year. The Braves are kind of in our boat right now. If the Braves weren't as bad as they were, everyone would be talking about us. So cheers, Braves. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, the Braves are not great as well. So, it is what it is.
So the Braves are 5-13, and you're comparing them to the Houston Astros. That's messed up. They're more White Sox than Astros.
All I'm saying is the comparisons between the Braves and the Astros are much more similar than because everyone expected the Braves to be good. Everyone expected the Astros to take a step back, but they still expected us to kind of be good. And it's the Astros, so even if they didn't think that we were going to be good, somehow we magically are good. That's the thinking for everybody with the Astros. But with the Braves, people are genuinely concerned now. So I'm just saying.
I think if they are sellers at the trade deadline, they should totally do the right thing and trade a Spencer Strider.
That would be fabulous.
Seems to be a lot of baseball games.
Alex Anthopoulos and Dana Brown are pretty good friends. That's where Dana Brown came from. So
we can offer you Framber straight up. They just both need changes of scenery. That's all it is.
The odds are he probably wouldn't give us Spencer Strider, but you know who the other Spencer that would be?
Schwellenbach. I don't
I
think they
would
trade
take
him either.
Schwellenbach. I would
I,
take Schwellenbach in a fucking heartbeat. They probably wouldn't, since
no.
younger and
Mm-hmm.
filthier stuff. But like, then we could just have a full rotation of Spencers, like my fantasy team: Strider, Schwellenbach, and Arrighetti. I mean, we just need two more and done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Saturday night we face Michael King. He's very good versus Wisniewski. Wisniewski is doing the things and
Wes Nasty.
like just came off of a night where he struck out 10. Hi, we love that. Hopefully he can recreate it. And then Sunday night, we get Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease hasn't been great, guys. I understand that the name itself kind of strikes fear in your hearts, but Dylan Cease has not been Dylan Cease. I mean, he's sporting a 6.64 ERA right now. So his last couple of starts hasn't been great, but then, like you go back and you're all, yeah, but like after one of those like not great starts, then I think he locks in and is great. So I'm hoping that maybe that doesn't happen and he just waits until his next start to do that. Fingers crossed. Because he also shaved too, guys. So you will not see a burly bearded Dylan Cease. You will see a clean shaven Dylan Cease, and kind of honestly like it looks like when Garrett Cole shaved his face. Like the Riz, the aura, it's a little different. It's a little different. Let's see. So got hit around on Monday when he faced the Cubs. He allowed 3 runs, 2 earned on 7 hits and 1 walk, while striking out 6 batters over 5.2 innings in a no decision. He tossed 3 scoreless frames before serving up 3 runs, including 2 on a homer by Michael Busch in the 4th. He left with 2 outs in the 6th, facing a 2-run deficit, but the Padres rallied to pull out the win. Though San Diego is off to a blazing hot 14-3 beginning of the campaign, Cease has yet to fully find his groove, as he's recorded a 6.64 ERA and a 1.52 WHIP through 20.1 innings. On a more positive note, he's given up 3 or fewer runs in 3 of his 4 starts, and his overall poor numbers so far are mostly the result of a 9-run, 4-inning start against the Athletics on April 8th.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance, guys. But maybe it's the whole we play up to our competition, and we didn't expect the Cardinals to be good. We do expect the San Diego Padres to be good. So I'm just saying that maybe, just maybe, they're like, okay, we can put our big boy pants on and we can do the things, because I kind of feel like that's what we did with the Mets, right? Mets fans, don't come for me. I don't know. Just saying. So, Tom, any final news, notes, thoughts?
My stance is still the same. I think the Stros are good. They're just the positive regression needs to happen, and then you're going to get the record that I think goes with it. They've been incredibly unlucky. You're seeing some pitchers get squeezed a little bit. You're seeing some hitters taking advantage of. Christian Walker, I'm talking about you. And these are things that are literally the difference in wins and losses right now. And I think they're due. I believe that the roster's fine. They're healthy. One thing we didn't talk about that's kind of interesting is Lance is ramping up. So while Spencer's out, McCullers looks like he could be on his way back, and that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Having a lot of pitching is not a bad problem to have, and I think once the bats get right, you're going to see this team take off, and then Susie's going to have to find something else to be stressed about.
Jake Myers, Mauricio Dubon. Trust me, I can find something. Don't worry about it. All right.
Well, Jake's building up some credit right now, and
I know.
Doobie. I mean, I could care less what he does if the rest of the team's hitting. The 14-run game or whatever, where it's like, Doobie, how dare you not hit? I'm like, dude, fuck that. If it takes that for them to get right, Doobie, you wear that over, baby.
Literally everybody had a fucking hit though. Everybody, except for Mauricio. Anyhow, Tom, tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs if they would like to chat with you and tell you that your takes are wrong and they really do want Mauricio Dubon to hit.
I'm okay with that. Come find me at Third Coast Tom on Twitter, at TC Tom1 on Instagram. Definitely with this YouTube or comments on whatever podcasting service that you choose to use, and let me know.
With that, we are going to wrap the show. If you guys have not already given the show a 5-star rating, what are you doing? Just click the 5 stars. It's very easy. Thing that takes a little bit more effort is to type the words and, give us compliments. I would love that. That would be delightful. Tom, I know, would really appreciate that. So I, less so because I don't really care about what you guys think. Just kidding. I really, really do. But if you have not subscribed to the YouTubes already, click that big red subscribe button. Tell all your friends. We are growing slowly but steadily. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers. So again, if you like the show, are an Astros fan, and want to subscribe to the YouTube, please do so. We would love that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I can tell you guys the really big, fun new announcement shortly, maybe by the end of the Padre series. Fingers crossed, guys. If you guys are on audio only, you will see. You won't see because that's audio. That's here. You will hear me cross my fingers. If you're YouTubes, you will see me cross my fingers. But hopefully, I can tell you guys that by the next time we record, because it is very good news and I'm very excited about it. But I can't share it just yet because the ink is not dry on the papers. I say that there was no ink. I sent in the thing, but it's electronic, so I'm just saying. Anyhow, with that, we are going to close the show and wrap it up, and we are going to say, yay, baseball! And record, maybe.